TJ's been feeling pretty good with Okay, here we are. We've got Andrew here with us. We have a foam roller. And we've been talking a lot with our clients recently, a lot of our athletes, around the idea of lengthening through their quads and the role that tight quads and just general leg tension play in everything from, groin issues and pulled groins to back pain to limited performance. Guys have a hard time getting loose and getting to top end speed. And we also have to apply that same line of reason to a lot of the folks who end up sitting for work and having a lot of time in a fixed position, where a lot of the tension in the front of the hip and the thigh end up being a catalyst for some of the pain and discomfort that they feel. So we have our foam roller here. We want to go through a series of things that we work regularly with here with a lot of our folks at Elite Performance, related to how we use the roller to remove some of the sticky trigger points that end up limiting our knee flexion and our hip flexion. So we'll get Andrew down on the roller. I think a lot of times what we end up seeing first from folks is the idea that they just tend to globally floss up and down the whole thigh. They use the roller and they roll while they're on it. This isn't bad, but it tends to not put enough emphasis into the direct areas that we know hold tension in the leg. So I often would have somebody like Andrew floss around a little bit and just find some areas that are hot. The first zone we want to focus on is about 3 inches up from the kneecap into the area where the rectus femoris tendon bolts in down at the patella. This lower distal patella pocket tends to hold a lot of tension and be a very limiting factor for knee flexion. So sometimes it's more on the outside by the IT band, sometimes it's more in the belly of the muscle. VMO, adductor insertion, could be in there. So he'll localize the spot that tends to really be most tender. He'll dorsiflex the ankle and begin kind of really trying to maximize his knee flexion by going heel to butt about 8 to 10 times. You'll notice here the other leg is kind of off the ground and he's kind of planking up. We're always mindful about our stability through the lower lumbar area. We don't want to get into too rounded of a position there. So after about 8 to 10 butt kicks, he'll then start to move more towards the belly of the thigh, kind of right in the dead center. Again, trying to localize those hot spots. Might be a little bit more on the lateral side where there's some IT band stuff, or right in the dead center. Same thing, stay on that spot. About 8 to 10 butt kicks, mindful of your position with the spine, and we just kind of work upstream from the knee for there. Mobilizing the knee under that pressure really helps to get those trigger points to let go and regain some of the lost degrees in knee flexion. So we'd have most of our guys down there for about 1 to 2 minutes on each leg, just kind of getting into those key areas of stickiness and trying to loosen some of that up. Good. Nice job. How'd that feel?
Need to do more of that.
That's right. That's right.